This is PHF Foundation. Time out with Elo David. I believe you've been blessed by our previous edition. This is a youth program. And the intention of this program is to see that we are able to give advice to the youths on how to be able to live their life and also be very productive in Nigeria. I've always been saying that the youths are the future of this nation. So we must do everything possible to see that we're able to assist the youth to be able to make a better future. Once you are above 50, the time flies so fast. Before you know what is happening, and before you say Jack Robinson, you are 70. And before you try to understand what is happening, you are 80. And when you get to 80, you are already on your departure lounge. We heard what the former president said, Olusegun Obasanjo. I think it's just above 80. But he said he's in his departure lounge. Very soon he's going to depart. Just in his 80. And so we must do everything possible to see how we can be able to add value. And adding value is not just about stealing and stealing and stealing. And I think this generation, much like the generation before this, they want to destroy this country. Those from 80 years down, they destroy this country completely. When we look at what Nigeria is now and where Nigeria is supposed to be, you will almost shed tears. Because resources wasted away, people have been suffering. Every government that has come in from beginning, since I started following government, since I started knowing, understanding what is happening in Nigeria, let me say from 83, we've had all kinds of promises. We've had structural adjustment program. We have, I think that's the one they call SAP. Before then, we have Obasanjo's, is it Green Revolution or something? We keep moving and moving. We keep having things, saying promises everywhere. And check out these guys who have destroyed this country right from the days of the late Buhari up to now. It has been from one failed leader to the other. From one failed leader to the other. It's not just this government that has failed woefully. They have failed. And I think this is so bad because those who have been our leaders for over, let me say, from 75, from the days of Obasanjo till now, 75, 76, those who have been our leaders have taken advantage of the fact that the citizens, some people say they are gullible. I won't say they are gullible. They have been very patient. And the reason why they have been very patient is because many people have these Christian values that keep they keep telling them Nigeria will get better, it is the will of God. Even when a man rig his way to power or plan coup and it comes to power, they tell you it is God that gives power. Say it is the will of God. And I've been saying it for a very long time. That cannot be true. It's not the will of God. God doesn't make leaders. In the days of the Bible, in the Old Testament, God appoints king. But the season we are living now is not a season where God appoints king. It's a season where they elect king. Elect king. And the problem with Nigeria is that we don't elect our leaders. Our leaders are imposed on Nigerians. And because they know the citizens will do nothing about it, they go to the judiciary. Somebody, a clear case of rigging, they will tell you, go to the court. Of course, they tell you go to the court because they know very well that the court has failed already. We run a failed judicial system. So the only thing the politicians will do, they rig the election, and the judiciary will interpret the rigging. They will always look for a way to interpret it. The biggest problem we have in Nigeria today is INEC. So the question we are going to ask ourselves, how long are we going to control like this, where people will begin to impose themselves on the citizens? And the most painful part of it is that even after they've rigged the election, you begin to see bad leadership. Everything about the leadership is to make the people suffer. I was reading the Daily today where they talk about a governor in one of the northern states that spent over 400 million was, I think about 400 million was budgeted to him for dry cleaning his clothes. I said, why didn't he just give me half of that money so I can come to his house and begin to wash clothes for him, to dry clean clothes? You begin to hear of hundreds of millions for telephone calls, and the citizens are suffering. Nigeria is not poor. The problem we have in Nigeria is not that we are poor. Nigeria has poor leadership. Poor leadership on all sectors. They remove subsidy. And the reason why they remove subsidy is so that at the end of the day, they can have more money that they can share to the governors so that they can spend money. So the governors and the states are richer while the people are poorer. And the most sad part of it is that since they remove subsidy, Nigeria has borrowed more than when we have subsidy. What kind of government are we running? So it's a kind of system that you see, you don't even know how to pray. You just get confused. For years, they were fighting subsidy. They make it look as if the entire problem of Nigeria is hanged on subsidy. Once they remove subsidy, Nigerian problem will end. Now they remove subsidy. Things are worse than when there was subsidy. The only thing they've done now, they've increased allocation to the state governors. So the state governors have a lot of money now to waste, to loot. That's the problem we are facing. It's a problem of very strange leadership. I mean, there was a time where, I remember when the EFCC declared Yahaya Bello wanted. They made it look as if it's a wanted man. The police everywhere. When the EFCC was talking, I remember the EFCC chairman who is also a pastor, that vowed with his life that he will be prosecuted. Now, a lot of waters have gone under the table. The same man says you are innocent until you are proven guilty. So Yahaya Bello is there having good time. After they say he embezzled over 80 billion. How do we move forward like this? How do we move forward like this? We need a good leader. And I told myself that look, Nigeria will never get it right until the people say enough is enough. I just want to remind, and also I want to remind those in government that sovereignty is on the people. It is the people that has power. We can see that is what is happening in Iran now. It got to a stage where the Iranians that have been impoverished since 1979 make up their mind and say, no, we want to take our country back. And I pray every day that what is happening in Iran now should not happen in Nigeria. Because Nigerians are frustrated. The enemies of this country right now are the politicians. They are the enemies of Nigeria. They are the people that are making Nigerian poorer, suffering. We saw the accident that happened. It's unfortunate with Anthony Joshua. It was fortunate that I think the driver it seems as if he was overspeeding, carelessly overspeeding, and he lost 2 lives there. But there was even no ambulance. Can you imagine a country of over 200 million people? Ogun State has no ambulance. The healthcare is dead. I came not too long from Delta. If you see the road, the federal road, from Benin down is dead. The roads in Benin are extremely bad, extremely bad. I remember those days. I remember in 1999, the time of the military. 98, 99, during the time of the military, 96, 97, 98, 99. I would just get up, pick up my car then, Benz 230. I will be heading up to Warri. And in less than 4 hours, I was already in Warri. In about 3 hours, I was already in Benin. But now we are spending close to 10 hours. And when you are traveling, you're not just talking about a bad road, you are talking about insecurity. Insecurity. Because we have systems where the bandits and the kidnappers have taken over our road. People have asked and said, why has that Sheikh Gumi not been arrested with all what he has said? Because we don't have a serious leadership. We saw what Donald Trump did. The Venezuela guy thought he was too smart. And they had to put this Venezuela guy where he belongs. Like some people said he was in his bedroom with his wife. It's possible they just finished making love and they were just relaxing. Because it's around 2:30, finished discussing and playing. They were in the bed sleeping. And they tapped him and woke him up around 2:30. And they took him from Venezuela to America. Why? Because he was involved in drugs and and those drugs were smuggled to America, protecting American interests. That's your leader. Protecting American interests. Now, these Fulani herdsmen, they have been killing people, doing all things they like. Nothing has happened to them. And we have a leader. People are killed and nothing. It's not Nigerian interests. They are protecting some Fulani interests. The Fulani herdsmen, the Fulani killers are allowed to move in Nigeria with AK-47 rifle. Other tribes won't do that. If we can't stay as one as a country, why do we force ourselves? If we find out that we cannot be one, why do we force ourselves to be one? One Nigeria is not by force. If it's not working, it's not working. Nigeria is not working. Because some people feel they are above the law. Some tribes feel they are above the law. They can kill and get away with it. Look at the kidnapping and killing taking place in Niger State. How long will they continue to kill? Where is our leader? And people are beginning to ask, do we have a military? A military that went straight. And kidnapped the president, American military went straight and kidnapped the president of Venezuela in his bedroom. Because they feel the mental health and the health of the Americans cannot be jeopardized with drugs, too much drugs. Drugs that were coming from China, drugs that were coming from Russia, everything passing through Venezuela to America. And the leader took a bold step to put a stop to it. The day it happened, I asked myself, God, why am I not an American? A president that can do anything to protect his people. That's the president that will do anything to protect the interests of the country. Not pretending to protect the interests, do everything, they will be seeing it. How can just a tribe, a Fulani tribe, be causing problem in Nigeria? And nothing is done to address it. And a man who is not even hiding, is coming out to be a leader. A spokesman for the bandits has not been arrested. People call from abroad, they call from overseas, they ask, how come that man has not been arrested and investigated? Is there preaching peace? Don't touch the Fulanis, don't touch this, don't touch this. And these people are killing every day. They've not stopped killing. We need peace in Nigeria. But it's so important we know that we are running out of patience. Nigerians are running out of patience. We have to stand out and say, no, we want a peaceful Nigeria. I'm not a prophet. I'm not like the newspaper prophet who is prophesying all kinds of nonsense that says he's a primate. Those jokers call themselves primate. No. But if you look at it, you just look at the handwriting on the wall, you'll be able to know that things cannot continue like this. It will get to a stage that the Nigerian youth will make up their mind and say, no, we have to take back our country. The politicians must make up their mind that the money they've stolen, they will also want to enjoy it in Nigeria. You can only enjoy the money when there is peace. Don't make the mistake to think that once there's any problem in Nigeria, now everybody will take off. No, Nigerians are everywhere. If you like, you go abroad. You like, you go to Canada. You like, you go to America. Nigerians are there. And they know and they are seeing what the politicians are doing. Why don't we build up a better Nigeria? There are three major problems we are having in Nigeria. Tribalism. This ethnic something, you know. I'm from the West, I'm Yoruba, I'm an Igbo, I'm an Hausa. Those mentality. Corruption. Number two, corruption. And injustice. People are not paid. I like what Uti did when he tried to stop the EFCC from going to arrest people that Yahoo boys in Abia. And you ask yourself, is that our problem? Politicians are stealing billions. EFCC is romancing with him. EFCC have not done nothing. Nothing. Where is the former accountant general that stole 120 billion? Nothing has been done. We are reading about the billions that have been stolen. Billions and billions. Now they say NNPC, about over 200 something billion was stolen from NNPC. That's where we are now. They will start investigation. The investigation will end. They've not been able to do any successful thing with this high-profile corruption. And they are going to look for boys that are stealing $1, $100, 400 boys. Is that our problem? If EFCC is not working, why don't we shut it down? Because look as if EFCC was set up against the youth. I sit down there and ask myself, what are they doing? Is it set up to fight against the youth? Because the politicians who are high-profile, corrupt people, nothing is done to them, nothing. They circulate them around. How long will Nigeria continue like this? It will not be long, I know that one day, Nigerians will say enough is enough. The supreme leader of Iran didn't believe what happened, what is happening now. Because he became a lord, killing people at will and doing what he likes. Until you get to a stage that the people say, no, enough is enough. Leadership is about the people. It's not about feeding themselves. It's not about stealing more money and putting their family and their children, telling us so lies and lies and lies and lies. People are tired of all these lies. It's not helping them. Nigerians have been so oppressed and oppressed and oppressed to a stage right now that they don't know what to do again is to turn back and face the oppressor. Because the question right now is, how long will we continue like this? How long? Even the next election that is coming, people are not even sure of it because they know that it's already rigged. People know the election is already rigged. You'll be surprised that in the 2027 election, the results are already out. They will only announce it. It's just waiting for announcement. They've already prepared it. The politicians know they are not accountable to the people. That's why they don't bother about leadership. They leave people to suffer. Because they know the only thing they need to do, the only thing INEC need to do is to rig the election and the court will help them to confirm it. Nothing else. It's a pattern that we know already. But the question is, how long will it continue like this? How long? This is the age of social media where people are seeing things. They are seeing what is happening. They are seeing what is happening in Venezuela. They are seeing everything that is happening. We pray such things doesn't start in Nigeria because people are fed up. You go to the streets, you see people are fed up. Instead of fixing Nigeria, what we have is divide and rule. Get some youth to fight against this youth, get some this to fight against this youth. We want a good Nigeria. We want good leadership. And just like I said before, if at the end of these 4 years of this Tinubu regime, Nigeria is still as bad as this, I will lose hope in democracy. Because Tinubu is somebody who has been fighting for democracy for a very long time. Now he's in power. Tinubu has been a critic, criticizing bad government for a very long time. He has been criticizing bad governments. It's Pastor Tunde Bakare criticizing bad government. So the question you are going to ask yourself, now that they're in power, what have they fixed? Nothing. Instead, policies that make the people poorer, policies that increase hardship, making people suffer. Roads are bad. Food stuff expensive. So the ask yourself, the subsidy they remove, what did they use the money to do? The roads within Nigeria here is extremely bad, and we are trying to build a coastal road of trillions because that's where they want to embezzle money from. Nothing else. If they use half of that money to fix the whole road in Nigeria, it will be better. And anybody that comes bring in projects to destroy the economy and to make people poorer. That's how the late Buhari decided to cover the roads from Nigeria to Nigeria to Katsina. What people don't understand is that they don't live on earth forever. All this money they gather now, it will finish one day. What will remain is legacy. The president right now is in a position to write his name in the book. You want to be president? Now you are president. Something Awolowo cannot achieve, something Abiola could not achieve. Tinubu was able to achieve it by becoming a president. How will history remember Tinubu? The man that became a president and destroyed the life of the people, make them poorer, hardship everywhere. Less than 2 years from now, there will be an election. You don't need to prophet to tell you, under a free and fair election, there's no way this man can ever win. Never. Never. Under this kind of suffering. But they don't care about it because they know that they have INEC and the judiciary in their pocket. One day Nigerians will say enough is enough. They will take back their country from politicians because the politicians are the highest kidnappers. They've kidnapped Nigeria and Nigeria is in their pocket. We want a better nation. We should not continue to deceive ourselves. Things are not working. People are suffering. Things are not working. People are suffering. What we are praying for is a better nation. You always need the support of the people for you to succeed in life. And Nigerians are almost fed up. Almost fed up. Almost fed up. With what is going on, people are fed up. When it comes to election, they lose up hope already because they know that the elections are not even real. This election that produces this president now, they wait until the morning to call the results because they have to perfect their abracadabra. But I want to say this. They have to fix. It's not about buying the governors. Each governor coming, this governor, allow they give them billions and billions of naira for governors to defect. When time will come, the next election will decide. Because people are already fed up. Anything that wants to happen should happen. If Nigeria cannot be won, why would we waste our time? Let's share it. Because this kind of leadership is a disgrace to Africa. African countries are depending on Nigeria. And with what is happening right now, it's a big shame and a disgrace. Big shame and a disgrace with what is going on now. Bad leadership everywhere, suffering everywhere. The only people that are enjoying democracy right now is the politicians. The politicians are their families. They are the ones enjoying democracy. The rest Nigerians are suffering. People begin to ask themselves, which kind of democracy is this, for goodness sake? This is what Fela called demonstration of grace. From 1990 now, Nigerians have benefited nothing in democracy apart from the politicians. We'll continue again tomorrow. We are trying to look at the youth. We are talking to the youth, advising the youth. This is a youth organization. We have followers across Nigeria. We have programs in all schools and campuses. We are battling to see how we can be able to get the youths right. And each of the universities we go to, each of the schools we go to talk to the students, the next thing they do, they refer you to the government. Now look at criminals everywhere in government. They are coming here to tell us not to join this, not to join that. Try to preach against court is bad, this is bad, this is bad, and give reference to the government. The latest one is this Yahya Bello. Say, look at, they are telling us about 419. Look at what is happening in Yahya Bello. Look at what is happening in this corruption everywhere. Corruption. The youths are losing hope. But one day, a decision will be made that enough is enough. One day, the youths will take back the Nigeria for themselves, because Nigeria has been kidnapped and hijacked. But one day, the youths will say enough is enough. We want good governance. They've suffered enough. We want better governance. We'll cut this BHF Foundation, as I said, we'll continue again tomorrow. But please, always remember, follow our program. We're having a youth conference, a youth conference in Uganda, 28th and 29th. Remember to also follow us on this channel. This is a youth organization. We move around around Nigeria, African countries. Try to sensitize the youth, try to build up a better youth, trying to give them instructions on what to do. There are three main things I've said from the beginning. If you don't like the way your life is going, change your friends, change the way you think, write a vision. The year I've started, get it clear. This is what I want to be. Have a vision. Because until you have a goal, you cannot score. Until you have a goal post, you cannot score a goal. You can always score a goal when you have a goal post. Make sure that this year you have a goal post. And choose your team players. You are the coach of your destiny. Those players with you that are not doing well, remove them. You have bad friends who don't have vision, who don't have plans for their life. Remove them from your life. Be positive in your thoughts. Change your friends. Get good, right friends. Write down your vision and move ahead. Don't lose hope. You will make it. Because you are born to be great. You are created to be great by God. Failure is not an option because you are born to be great. Tomorrow we'll look deeply on something else again, which is very, very, very important. We'll discuss it throughout this month. Sexual immorality. And I'll tell you, we started yesterday, and I'll tell you some major consequences on these things. Sexual immorality, sleeping with your daughters. In one of my programs, somebody called me from Port Harcourt after listening to my program on radio some time ago and called me and said he's sleeping with his cousin. The girl says she's sleeping with the cousin. The father's brother's son, sleeping with her. Somebody listened to my program in Abuja and called me and said he's a gay. Wow. I prayed that God will forgive him and the rest, and advised him to look for a good church I will attend, and he told me that I'm sleeping with my pastor. Sexual immorality is very deadly. It's very dangerous. It's the biggest cause of the problems that people are going through in life. It's not just witches. Everything is hung on witches, water spirit, marine spirit. No. Sexual immorality is the number one cause of stagnation in life. It will destroy your life. I will talk a lot about it tomorrow when we're having our program. The Bible says your body is the temple of the living God. And I will tell you my own experiences. And I told you, I've said it again and again, that many years ago, that's how a girl woke me 2 a.m. in the night when I was still in school and told me she's a fish from the water. And as many guys that sleep with some of these girls who are from the water, they will never succeed. Never succeed. Nothing they do that will ever progress. So we'll talk a lot about it, about sexual immorality. And I will tell you how dangerous sexual immorality is. Because when you're involved in sexual immorality, you are connected to the marine world. It's the easiest way of connection. You are connected to the marine world, and you'll be destroyed. A lady called me and told me that she's sleeping with, there's a man that comes from the river man that comes to the water to sleep with her. And they've done more than 4 or 5 operations on her to remove what the marine man deposits. These things are real. And sexual immorality is the gateway to the marine kingdom. The easiest way to be polluted and to be destroyed, for your destiny to be destroyed, is from the marine world. The marine world is real. I tell you, marine world is real. I remember many years ago when I was still a pastor, the pastor in Living Faith Church then, many years ago. I found out that close to 90% of the ladies that comes to see me all have issues with the marine spirit. Marine spirit. They have water spirit husband. Water spirit husband. And sexual immorality is the gateway to the marine kingdom. I was involved in it, that's why I know. I was constant having sex regularly in the dream until God delivered me. So we'll talk a lot about it and try to see how to get the youth and to pray for the youth. So call more youth to also always follow us in this program. So I'll begin to pray for you. I'm speaking from my own personal experience. What is going on? I'm sleeping with people's wife. There is no cause that is as deadly as sleeping with people's wife. The Bible says you will become a loaf of bread. Sleeping with people's wife. Sexual immorality. Sleeping with people's wife. I speak of the things that my eyes have seen, the things that my hands have touched in the past. And I tell you, it's very destructive. Sleeping with your siblings, sleeping with people's wife, and sleeping with prostitutes. Sleeping with prostitutes. If you've been doing that, your glory has been tampered with. So instead of making yourself a prayer project for different pastors, now you see what is happening in Nigeria with fake prophets everywhere. Nigeria has the highest numbers of fake prophets. I'm sorry to say, the Igbos seems to be leading Nigeria now in terms of fake prophets, followed by the Yorubas. The Igbos followed by the Yorubas. They are the major contributors of fake prophets in Nigeria. So don't end up becoming a candidate of manipulation by these satanic prophets. If you decide to live your life well, you don't need them. You don't need them. So you think you are having fun, your destiny is being mortgaged. You exchange your glory. You've tampered with your tomorrow by the pleasures of today. So we'll talk a lot about sexual immorality tomorrow. But please remember, sexual immorality is destructive. Until we meet again tomorrow, have a wonderful time. Be hopeful. Nigeria will get better.